Hello, good evening, and welcome. Tonight we're going to be talking about the British computer guy, Gary McKinnon. And here to discuss the issue is a man. Hello, man.
Hello.
So, what can you tell us about Gary McKinnon?
Well, Gary McKinnon has been fighting extradition to the U.S. for several years now.
That's right. Because he hacked into the Pentagon and NASA computers, right?
Well, not exactly. There was no security on those computers. No firewalls, no passwords set. So you can't really call it a hack.
Really? So the U.S. military had no security on their computers, even after 9/11? That's shocking.
That's right. And yes, it is shocking. What is also shocking is that, even though the military are legally required to secure their computer systems, and they blatantly failed in that regard, not one U.S. military personnel has been prosecuted over this. Or even, as far as I know, disciplined in any way.
Wow. So why is Gary facing extradition? Didn't he cause gazillions of dollars worth of damage to the U.S. military computers?
No. He did not. The amounts of damage that the U.S. prosecutors are alleging have been shown in court to represent nothing more than the cost of installing the basic security that the U.S. military should have had installed in the first place. So the sums of money claimed don't actually represent damage at all.
Amazing. So you're saying Gary McKinnon didn't cause any damage to the computer systems that he accessed?
That's right. He didn't do a single dollar worth of damage. That much has been demonstrated in open court. The evidence shows he didn't damage anything, or shut anything down. And that point is pretty important, because if you take away the allegations of damage, what Gary McKinnon did was not actually an extraditable offense. It is interesting too, that the prosecutors waited several years before requesting extradition, so that the new extradition treaty with the UK was in force. This treaty meant that the U.S. no longer have to provide a shred of evidence for the allegations when we request extradition. You may also notice that the amounts of damage claimed by U.S. prosecutors just so happen to coincide exactly with the precise threshold amount required in order to create an extraditable offense.
That all seems very convenient, doesn't it?
Exactly. The obvious inference is that there is no evidence for these allegations. Or in other words, that these allegations are entirely false. Gary McKinnon should be tried in the UK.
So why is the U.S. seeking to extradite Gary McKinnon?
That is a very good question. It would seem that, by exposing the flaws in U.S. security, Gary caused a great deal of embarrassment to the U.S. military, and that is why the prosecutors are taking this excessively punitive stance against him. Instead of prosecuting those in the U.S. military who failed very seriously in their legal obligation to protect the security and integrity of their computer systems and of our nation. It is a great shame that the U.S. is behaving in this aggressive manner towards Gary McKinnon, because it is seriously damaging the international reputation of the USA.
Yeah. It seems like a very great shame indeed. I'll be writing to my congressman about this for sure. Well, that's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you, man, for being with us this evening.
You're welcome.
And thanks to you for watching. Good night.